Welcome, everyone. This is Lessons from the Field. And as you know, this is a series of interviews that we do with a diverse array of guests, all who have a common thread, and that is a passion for pharmacy and pharmaceutical sciences. And today, I'm very happy we're featuring Moses B. Dunson II. He's a PharmD graduate from UIC in 2011. Actually, I think he also has a bachelor's degree from UIC and an MBA, correct?
Correct.
And Moses is also a board certified ambulatory care in ambulatory care pharmacy. He is also currently working for Kindred Healthcare, which is a long-term care and home care company. And we're going to ask Moses some questions, as we usually do. The questions will elucidate insight from him on his career, his experience, and hopefully all of that for the benefit of our students and alumni and friends that might be listening. So Moses, if you don't mind, we'll go ahead and get started. I guess I'll start with just asking you to just give us a little tour of your career since you graduated. What have you been doing?
Since I've graduated, the majority of my time has been spent with retail. So I was with Walgreens as a staff and manager, and then also at CVS as a staff and manager, and currently still am registry with CVS, but have taken on a new role with Kindred Health in the last couple months as one of their pharmacists there.
Well, thank you, Moses. I know in reviewing your LinkedIn profile and talking to you, that you really have your hands in a lot of different things. And I know how dedicated you are to community pharmacy. You obviously have a passion for helping patients and doing that through the retail and community pharmacy environment, working on the front lines, I'm sure during the pandemic. What inspires you, or what has really inspired you along this path, and what's been challenging or rewarding in your career so far?
So in that setting, for me, it's impacting each patient with a tailored experience and hopefully memorable experience. You know, it can be challenging to do so in the retail environment where the bottom line is the main focal point in determining support for pharmacy services. So, you know, you just have to, what my approach is, to just make sure I'm listening to each customer, you know, regardless of the circumstances, and make sure I'm listening for those opportunities to coach or recoach on proper technique. And, you know, again, just to provide someone with more than they expected as they leave the pharmacy. That's kind of like my passion and my goal.
Well, that sounds like a great goal. I'm sure your patients really appreciate that. And I would guess it must be really rewarding too, to the gratitude and what you do, and know that you're really helping people in that way. I think that's what drives a lot of folks that are in the community pharmacy environment as well. Speaking kind of on the personal side though, how would you, and I'm guessing, you know, this could be answered either personally or more professionally, but how would you describe yourself in one sentence?
You know what? I am someone who assesses my daily wins and losses, so to speak, and try to just improve, you know, figure out how I can grow from those lessons learned and try to be a little bit better the next day. That kind of sums me up right there. Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a good strategy for a lot of us.
Yeah.
That critical assessment of yourself and how to improve. People that can do that and do that frequently, I know can go a long way. So congratulations on that.
Okay.
Maybe tell us a little bit more about your career. You know, what have been some of the highlights, or what's given you the most satisfaction? What are you proudest of?
My proudest moments and I spent most of my time in retail as a manager. So my proudest moments are seeing those that I've mentored, pharmacists, go on and step into leadership, or helping to promote, you know, other team members who I identified as future leaders and said, hey, you know what? Let me see if I can get this person to be a model on my team. And those were pretty much my proudest moments. Everything else was a lot of fun, but those are the most memorable times that I've had.
Yeah, yeah, I know the feeling. I mean, we see that with students, as faculty, and really, I mean, yeah, there's not much that can make you more proud than to see somebody that you really worked with go on and be successful, and
Exactly.
just think about how exponentially the impact that you're having on patients or the profession by all of those folks that you had the opportunity to train that way. So yeah, that's great. I know you've seen a lot in your time, in pharmacy and retail and as a manager. Probably a lot of problems that come up for patients and for the pharmacy. But if you thought about any of those things that you could change about healthcare or maybe about pharmacy, what would that be?
You know what? In my short career as a pharmacist, I have seen at least two, I believe, waves of pharmacy closures in underserved areas.
Oh yeah.
And to date, I have not seen many pharmacies come and replace those pharmacies. So which puts a lot of stress on those pharmacies that are remaining. We have the bottom line that we have to focus in on. So again, support for pharmacy services can be tough. So that is probably one of the things that I would like to change. But given that those pharmacies most likely left because they were not profitable, it's going to be kind of tough to address that situation. But yeah, that's one thing that I would like to help out on. I would like to change is just access.
Hmm. Yeah, it's such an important issue. I'm sure we've had faculty here who have done a lot of work at analyzing that and studying that problem, but it's an intractable problem, and hopefully, yeah, either changes in the structure of healthcare, how healthcare is paid for, and specifically
Exactly.
pharmacy. So, we have students who are early in their programs, some that are mid-stage or near the end of their pharmacy programs, and even those that have recently graduated who listen to this. So you have an audience there that is just kind of either thinking about or just starting their career. What kind of advice would you give now that you've been out for 10 years or so and kind of have some street cred and experience? What kind of advice would you give to those people?
It's something that my mom and my family, we say all the time is be ready so you don't have to get ready. There's going to be tons of opportunities to learn, especially earlier on in your career. And you want to just take advantage of all of them, especially the ones that don't seem like they're a good fit for you. Even if you don't travel down the path of whatever that opportunity for growth is or learning, there's still something you can pull away from that to use in whatever you're going to do down the line. So just take advantage of all opportunities so that when the one that's perfect for you comes along, you're ready.
Yeah, yeah. That's great advice. I mean, yeah, you often don't know whether that's the right opportunity unless you've, taken other opportunities and know that they weren't quite perfect for you. So that's really good advice. And I think another question we wanted to wrap up with was, more on the work-life balance side, but how do you balance? And I think sounds like I know you're a really hard worker, but it sounds like you also have a lot of other interests outside of pharmacy. So do you have tips on kind of overall success and work-life balance and the interplay between, what else is out there in pharmacy as a career?
So a couple things. I try to control what I can control. Um, the time and my thinking on that is, there's some things that frustrate me that are out of my control, but the way I look at it is the time that I might spend worrying about those things, I could be using that time to plant seeds for tomorrow's opportunities for growth. And then I live by my calendar. I just make sure that things fit, and if they can't, then I give I do what I can to make adjustments so that everything does work. And then also I rely on my team. So I have a team in every space in business, or like these areas that I'm working in, and I rely on them. You can't get anywhere without a team. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that I especially like the first point, controlling what you can, and not worried about it if you can't. Putting your energy somewhere else. That's such good advice, because you do have people. I mean, it's hard not to sometimes, to get really worked up about something that you're just not going to be able to change, and that's
No.
wasting
Yeah.
energy. Moses, if you don't mind, I know you're involved in real estate and some other things. I'd be curious just to hear a little bit more about some of the other things that you're involved with. Well, am I going to see you on what is it, HDTV,
Right.
building houses or something?
You know what? It's more of so I also have a real estate license, and I'm also a personal trainer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
No
I
wonder you
do.
look like you're in such good shape.
Yeah, I work out a lot. But yeah, with real estate, it's just me. So I took on so I'm with a team, and it just made sense that we had more folks who had a license, taking a look at the market, because the way everyone sees the market is different. It's almost, yeah, it's different. So right now, what I'm doing is just a little bit of investing, doing a little bit of flipping, and right now trying to get into purchasing some commercial things for myself now. Like, I'm involved in some stuff for in a team, but I think it's time for me to branch out on my own. So the good thing about pharmacy is earlier on, I was not, spending a lot of my money. I saved. I knew that this day would come where I would want to then begin to continue to grow, beyond to just to grow. So I'm in that space now.
Yeah, well, that sounds great. I love your comment about teams, though, and just how the more opinions and people you have that can weigh in on something and see things in a different way, how that can make your decision making so much more informed and holistic.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people think they can, they know the most, they can make the decision on their own, but really, when you have a lot of folks with input and different insight, you're going to make better decisions. So it's great that you're able to
Very true.
take advantage of that in every aspect of your what you're working on. So Moses, this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was nice.
It's great to reconnect, and it's always fun to see alumni who've gone on and done interesting and successful things. So any last minute comments for our students out there?
Residency. Do a residency. Make sure you do a residency.
There you go. It's certainly something a lot of our students are interested in it and applying.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, great. Well, again, great to see you again, Moses. And
same here.
I'm looking forward to the comments on our social media after they folks take a look at this and learn from your advice.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it myself.